This is the Thinking Mind podcast.
As you know, this podcast is normally about mental health, but given the uncertain and unusual nature of what's been happening over the past few days, I thought it would be good to prepare just a short clip with brief, concise, actionable information about coronavirus and some very simple, actionable steps that we can take and the reasoning behind those steps. It strikes me that we're in a time where spreading the right information quickly enough can make a huge impact on the lives of many people. So I'm recording this on 14th March, and I've been taking some information from different infectious disease experts over the past few days, and the salient points appear to be the following. So coronavirus is a serious infection, which is likely to have a mortality of somewhere between 0.6 and 3 to 4%. As a reference, a normal seasonal flu would normally have about a 0.1% mortality. Most people are going to have mild symptoms, probably, but it can really present with a whole range of presentations, at the worst being something like a pneumonia, and obviously it can cause death as well. The risk factors for severe illness appear to be age, underlying health conditions, and these can include respiratory conditions like asthma, but also obesity, diabetes, high blood pressure, autoimmune conditions, cancer, and being a smoker, and patients on immunosuppressing medications. A person can be asymptomatic, but still be infectious. What each country is trying to do is to do its best to flatten the curve, which means to delay the peak infection rate, because this will have a crucial impact on whether or not the healthcare systems become overwhelmed. And this in turn will have a huge impact on mortality. And in order to achieve that, the primary measure that different countries are using is social distancing. And this seems to be very effective because it slows the transmission of the virus from one person to another. And transmission primarily occurs through droplets in breathing, coughing, and sneezing. And then the next best measure is hand hygiene and keeping commonly used objects and surfaces clean, because the virus can also be transmitted that way. Although again, breathing, coughing, and sneezing is the primary means of transmission. Beyond that, everyone should be doing what they can to stay healthy and try to boost their immune system to reduce the odds that they would have a high illness severity and that they could become a vector that will transmit the infection to other people. Therefore, the most practical steps one can take appear to be work from home if possible, avoid unnecessary social contacts as much as possible, especially if you fall into the higher risk group. If you are unwell, self-isolate. And then if your symptoms become unmanageable at home, especially shortness of breath, seek medical attention. Maintain good hand hygiene, cleaning commonly used objects and surfaces. If you smoke, stop smoking. Make sure you take all of your prescribed medications. If you are well, boost your immunity by getting plenty of sleep, avoiding unnecessary stress, and supplementing with vitamins, particularly vitamin D, and staying hydrated. Obviously, we are not infectious disease experts here, but this is information that I've gathered from experts, and I'll try and put some details in the show notes. So hopefully this information is useful, and I wish everyone well.
You are listening to the Thinking Mind podcast.
If you enjoyed today's podcast, we'd love it if you share it with a friend, or you could give us a rating on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen. If you fancy it, you can even buy us a coffee to support the team, and the links for that will be in the show notes. Thanks for listening.